All right, so week 11 is in the history books, and we're going to give a little recap and give my predictions on week number 12. And for those of you that are wondering, my dog Tashi is want to sit on my lap for the remainder of this video. It's my wife's dog and my dog, so it's mostly my wife's dog. So, anyways, she's going to give out some insights that help me out a little bit, won't you, Tashi? You're just ignoring me. Oh, now you're going to pay attention. All right. Okay. So let's do a little recap. So we kick it off with the Panthers beating the Saints 23-20 on Thursday Night Football. The Panthers are trying to get back into the groove, but in my opinion, they're a little too late of trying to make the playoffs. But they could still make it, but I don't know. We'll see. It's just the NFC South is just a weird division. Like, anybody can win it except for Tampa Bay. I don't think they're going to win at all. So we'll move on to the Sunday afternoon games, I might add. The Steelers beat the Browns 24-9, and the Browns are 0-11. It's getting close. They're going to be 0-16, I'm telling you. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to drink that V8. Something I've hated since I was a kid. The Cowboys put up a big victory against the Baltimore Ravens, 27-17, and in my opinion, probably the number one team in the NFL this year. You know, I got to give the Cowboys credit. They got too many weapons. I mean, Dak Prescott, he won the job, and they stuck with him. They didn't put in Tony Romo, and, you know, it's paying off. What do you think? What do you think about Dak Prescott winning? I don't. I know you don't like the Cowboys either. I know. And the Lions beat the Jacksonville Jaguars 26-19. You know, it was what I expected. And, you know, Detroit Lions, you know, they could win the division for the first time. It could be about time that another team wins the division besides the Packers every year. So we'll see what happens. Either the Lions or the Vikings. The Vikings are not out of it yet, but they could win the division too. One of those two teams are going to win the division. Would be nice for the Lions to win. The Colts beat the Titans 24-17. Not really anything shocking. Not a big deal. Buffalo beats Cincinnati 16-12. Boy. It's just a whatever game to me, but in my opinion, the Bengals are out of the playoffs. They're done. They're done. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers upset the Kansas City Chiefs 19-17. I'm not buying the whole thing with Tampa Bay trying to win the division. But they're improving. They're doing a little bit better than they were doing last year. But I think sometime next year they might be playoff contenders. But I don't think this year is the year. I think next year they will be playoff contenders. I would be really shocked if they do win the division. I was proven wrong. New York Giants beat the Chicago Bears 22-16. We expect. Jay Cutler sucks. I've said this like a couple times earlier this year. Jay Cutler is a bum. He sucks. And why the Bears kept him around, I'll never know. What do you think? Yeah, I know. Jay Cutler's a bum. She doesn't like Jay Cutler either. Yeah. Okay. That's good enough. She's tired. She's had a long day. So she's with Daddy. Okay. The Arizona Cardinals fall to the Minnesota Vikings 30-24. Carson Palmer, he's done. He sucks this year. Last year, he did a great job last year getting to the NFC Championship, and this year, he sucks. He does. Like, how you go from going to the NFC Championship, yeah, you fall to the Panthers, but I'm telling you, they have not been the same since. So they're going to have to invest on a new quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. A quarterback for the future. I'm just saying. The Miami Dolphins defeated the Los Angeles Rams 14-10. And, the Rams hanged in there the whole time. They were in the lead the whole time. What was it, 10-7? And they blew it at the end to the Miami Dolphins. And it was raining, yeah, and it was Jared Goff's first game. But I gotta see more with Jared Goff. He played okay, but the rain affected him and stuff. It was a rainy day in Los Angeles. Speaking of rain, not only in Los Angeles, but in San Francisco, where the New England Patriots, like I said, would beat the San Francisco 49ers 30-17. Not only the Browns coach has to get fired, but Chip Kelly's going to get fired too. They're in the hot seats, And I also think, who's that Bears head coach? Probably I'll remember him after this video is over, but John Fox, I think, right? Who cares? They're in the hot seat. It's warming up, and it's going to get hotter. I think it's already hotter for the Browns head coach, because look at them. They're 0-11, and the 49ers, like what? 1-9? They're pathetic. The 49ers are pathetic. And it's all the GM's fault for even hiring Chip Kelly in the first place. Why would you hire that guy after we fired him? That could have been us. Good thing it wasn't us. The Seahawks beat my team 26-15. I wasn't really that surprised that we lost to the Seahawks. To tell you the truth, I had a feeling this was going to happen. And for some of you that said that, why would you vote against your team? You should be voting for your team. Look, I wish that the Eagles could beat the Seahawks. Let's face it. They were going to Seattle. You were going to Seattle in the 12th man stadium. The volume 12 crowd. They're the loudest crowd in the NFL. They're the loudest crowd in the history of sports. It's very difficult to... I'm just mumbling along. Can't even think today. I had a long day. Let's just say it's hard to win in Seattle. And there's been a few teams that know how to control a Seahawks crowd and shut them up. And the Eagles just weren't able to do it. But they got to get rid of Nelson Aguilar for the Eagles. He sucks. He's a sorry excuse for an Eagles player. He should not have made the cut. He should have never made it to the 53-man roster. Cut him. I don't want him in my team. Nelson Aguilar is a bust. So we move on to the Sunday Night Football game. The Washington Redskins beat the Packers 42-24. This is shocking. The Redskins, this is the second week in a row that the Packers got dominated. What is going on with the Packers? They're not the same team. They don't have that drive anymore. They don't have that... There's something missing about the Packers this year. And in my opinion, in my estimation, they blew it. They're not going to the playoffs. They're going to miss the playoffs. I'm sorry, Packers fans, but they're not going to make the playoffs. It's either going to be the Lions or the Vikings. They're going to take the division. What do you think? Yeah, I know. It's just ridiculous. What do you think? It's ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah. So we go to Monday Night Football. The Oakland Raiders beat the Houston Texans 27-20. Boy, you got to give the Raiders credit. They're back. In my opinion, they're going to make the playoffs. And I applaud the Oakland Raiders, and, you know, they're one of the best teams in the NFL this year. In my opinion, the Raiders have resurrected from the dead. And it's been a very long time that the Oakland Raiders have been pretty damn good. And if they win the division, they deserve to win the division. It's been a very long time that the Oakland Raiders have won anything. And I give the Raiders credit. Alright, so it's time for week number 12 predictions. So we're going to kick it off with tomorrow's Thanksgiving games. And I know Thanksgiving's going to be pretty good for me tomorrow. So I look forward to that. So, for the second time in the Thanksgiving Day tradition for the NFL, two first place teams are going to battle it out to see who's going to get first place. So, we'll kick it off with the Minnesota Vikings against the Detroit Lions. Ooh. Man, this is going to be a tough one. One of them is going to be first place at the end of Thanksgiving. And one of them is going to have to keep trying to fight back. I'm going to pick the Lions to win this one. Smell an upset victory against the Minnesota Vikings. The Redskins against the Cowboys, and I'm going to pick the Cowboys. Their winning streak is going to continue on. Pittsburgh Steelers against the Indianapolis Colts on Thursday Night Football on NBC. Steelers. Why not? It's going to be a close game against the Indianapolis Colts. Arizona against the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to pick the Falcons to win. I don't like the Cardinals' chances. Their team is not that good anymore. Cincinnati Bengals against the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to pick the Ravens over the Bengals. Jaguars against the Bills. The Bills are going to win. The Titans against the Bears. I'm going to pick the Titans over the Bears. The Giants against the Browns. I'm going to pick the Giants to win. The Chargers against the Texans. I'm going to pick the Chargers to win. I like their chances. The 49ers against the Dolphins. I'm going to pick the Dolphins to make sure that the 49ers continue their losing streak. The Rams against the Saints. I'm going to pick the Saints to win. The Seahawks against the Buccaneers. I'm going to pick the Seahawks to win. I like their chances against Tampa Bay. The Patriots against the Jets. You know, it's always different. Sometimes the Jets emerge victorious, but not right now. I'm going to pick the Patriots over the Jets. The Carolina Panthers against the Oakland Raiders. Oh, that's going to be a tough one. Panthers or Raiders. That's going to be tough. Ooh. I'm going to pick the Raiders to win over the Panthers. I like the Raiders' chances. The Fighting Raiders, I've been calling them for weeks. The Chiefs against the Broncos. I'm going to pick the Broncos to win on Sunday Night Football. And then Monday Night Football, the Packers and Eagles. I'm going to pick the Eagles to win. They should come out of this game victorious over the Packers. The Packers are garbage right now. The Packers are not like what they used to be. So those are my predictions for week number 12. I hope everybody enjoys their Thanksgiving. Thank you for watching my video. Make sure to like this video. Subscribe today if you haven't. Links are down below the subscription box. Follow me on Twitter and like me on Facebook. I'm CJHawk85. Have a good Thanksgiving and stay safe. Peace. Bye.